Hey everyone, I'm gonna be honest with you. When these Columbina leaks started coming out, I wasn't excited. I was actually pretty worried, and I think that's worth talking about because what we're seeing here might change how Hoyoverse makes characters from now on. This isn't just about whether one character is strong, it's about where the whole game might be going as we get deeper into Nod-Krai and whatever comes after. In today's video, we're gonna talk about the Columbina leaks and what they might mean for the future of Genshin. And I'm not just talking about whether she's strong or weak. This is bigger than just one character. So let's get into it. Save up to 25% on Genesis crystals at lootbar.gg. To celebrate Genshin's anniversary, you can grab the all-in-one pack and the 6,480 Genesis crystals pack, normally $100 in-game, for just $72 on Lootbar. That's 81 pulls, almost guaranteeing you a 5-star for your account while saving you $28. The process is super simple. Just enter your UID, select your server, and receive your crystals in under a minute. No password needed. Lootbar uses official recharge channels, has hundreds of 5-star reviews, and partnerships with several big content creators that you probably know, so everything is completely safe. Lootbar supports PlayStation 5 and Xbox top-ups. Also, don't forget that the double bonus for your first purchase on each pack has been reset. Click the link in the description to claim your extra discount. New users get an extra 10% discount, while returning users get 5%. According to the leaks, Columbina can trigger all the Lunar Reactions by herself without needing other specific characters. That sounds convenient, but here's my concern. If one character can handle the entire reaction system alone, what's the point of pulling other Nod-Krai characters? Either they'll make all of them equally self-sufficient, which makes team building boring, or they'll design them to only work well with Columbina, forcing you into specific teams. Neither option gives you much freedom to experiment. This brings me to the constellation situation, which is what really bothers me the most. At C0, she's a support who enables Lunar Reactions, but at C2 and higher, she transforms into a main DPS. We've seen this pattern before with Raiden, Nahida, and Farina. The difference is those characters worked in tons of different teams regardless of constellation level. Columbina's different because her DPS potential isn't just locked behind constellations. The leaks suggest she needs other Nod-Krai characters on the team to actually perform well. That's basically a double paywall. You're paying for her constellations and paying for multiple faction teammates. For free-to-play players or low spenders, that's a huge ask. On the flip side, there's one mechanic she does have that's incredibly powerful: the Universal Resistance Shred. She supposedly reduces all elemental resistance by 15% just by being on the team. And since she's a Hexenzirkel member, you can stack even more shred with other faction characters. Compare that to Viridescent Venerer. It has been the gold standard for years, but it requires building around Anemo characters and understanding swirl mechanics. Those limitations make team building interesting because you have to think about your choices. If Columbina just gives Universal Resistance Shred passively, that removes strategy from the equation. It's more convenient, sure, but convenience isn't always good design. Sometimes restrictions are what make theory crafting fun. Look, here's what I really want to talk about. This isn't just about whether these Columbina leaks end up being accurate or whether you should save your Primo Gems for her. What matters here is the bigger picture if this is the direction Hoyoverse is actually going. Are we actually okay with characters being designed this way going forward? Where you might need multiple specific characters from the same faction instead of being able to mix and match creatively? Because if this becomes the new standard for important characters, it changes everything about how we approach this game. It's not just about team building anymore. It's about how much money players need to spend. Think about what this could mean for your account planning if these design patterns are real. If every new region from now on follows this faction locked, you can't just save up for the characters you like anymore. You might have to commit to entire faction rosters. Let's say you skip Nod-Krai and wait for the next region. But what if that region does the same thing? Suddenly, you're always behind because you can't afford to build complete teams. It forces you into this position where you either go all in on one region or spread yourself too thin, trying to get a little bit of everything. And the community response to these leaks has been really telling. You've got people doing calculations about how many months of saving it might take to get Columbina, plus the other Nod-Krai characters she allegedly needs. You've got debates about whether her supposed C0 is even worth it if you can't afford her team. You've got players genuinely stressed about whether they should skip entire patches just to prepare for this one character that hasn't even been officially revealed yet. When did character releases become this source of anxiety instead of excitement? That shift says something about how character design has changed over time, or at least how we perceive these leaks are pointing. What gets me is that other gacha games have tried this faction-locked releases, and it's always divisive. Some players like having clear goals to work toward, but a lot of players feel trapped by it. They feel like the game is making decisions for them instead of letting them play how they want. Genshin has been different up until now. It's given you freedom to experiment and be creative. But if we're moving toward that faction-locked model based on what these leaks suggest, we're losing something that made Genshin special in the first place. Of course, this is all speculation until we see official information. The real concern is what precedent this could set if these leaks are accurate. Every major character release influences how future characters get designed. When Raiden showed that C2 power spikes work, suddenly every Archon had them. When Neuvillette and Furina became the meta duo, character pairs became more common. If Columbina actually releases with this faction-locked, constellation-gated design and it's successful, what stops Hoyoverse from making that the template for every character? That's not speculation. That's just how game development works. Successful designs get repeated, but right now, we're basing this concern on leaked information that could change dramatically. Obviously, once the beta starts, things will change. Numbers get adjusted, kits get reworked. Maybe these concerns will turn out to be overblown. But the core design here is worth paying attention to because it shows us where Hoyoverse sees the game going. Let me know in the comments where you stand. Are you focused on Columbina's individual strength, or are you more concerned about what her design means for future characters? Because I think that conversation is important as we head into what looks like a significant shift for Genshin. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.